Shalom and welcome to Who is Yahuah. Thank you for joining me as we gather today's portion from the scriptures. Today's reading is Barashyth, Genesis chapters 32 through 34. Barashyth, Genesis chapter 32. Yaqab went on his way, and the messengers of Elohim met him. When Yaqab saw them, he said, "This is the camp of Elohim." So he named that place Makanim. Yaqab sent messengers ahead of him to Ashu, his brother, in the land of Sha'ir, the field of Adum. He instructed them, "This is what you shall say to my master Ashu. Your servant Yaqab says, I have sojourned with Laban and remained there until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male servants, and female servants. I am sending this message to my master so that I might find favor in your eyes." The messengers returned to Yaqab, saying, "We went to your brother Ashu. He is also coming to meet you with 400 men. Yaqab was greatly afraid and distressed. He divided the people with him, along with the flocks, herds, and camels, into two groups. He thought, if Ashu comes and attacks one group, then the remaining group may escape. Yaqab prayed, "O Elohim of my father Abraham, and Elohim of my father Yitzchak, Yahuah, who said to me, return to your land and to your relatives, and I will do you good. I am unworthy of all the loving kindness and all the faithfulness you have shown your servant. I crossed this Yarden with only my staff, and now I have become two camps. Deliver me, please, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Ashu, for I fear him that he may come and attack me, along with the mothers and children. But you said, I will surely do you good and make your descendants as numerous as the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted." Yaqab spent the night there and selected a gift for his brother Ashu: 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their young, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 foals. He put them in the care of his servants, each herd by itself, and instructed them, "Go on ahead of me and keep some distance between the herds." He told the one in front, "When my brother Ashu meets you and asks, 'Who are you? Where are you going? Whose animals are these ahead of you?' then say, 'They belong to your servant Yaqab. They are a gift sent to my master Ashu, and he is coming behind us." He also instructed the second, the third, and all who followed the herds, "Say the same thing to Ashu when you meet him. You shall also say, 'Your servant Yaqab is right behind us,' for he thought, I will appease him with the gift that goes ahead of me. Afterward, when I see his face, perhaps he will accept me." So the gift went ahead of him, while he himself stayed in the camp that night. That night, Yaqab got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of Yabuq. After he had sent them across the stream, he also sent over all his possessions. So Yaqab was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Yaqab's hip so that it was dislocated as he wrestled with him. Then the man said, "Let me go, for the day has broken." But Yaqab replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" He answered, "Yaqab." The man said, "Your name will no longer be Yaqab, but Yashar'Al, because you have struggled with Elohim and with men and have prevailed." Yaqab said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. Yaqab named the place Bani-Al, saying, "For I have seen Elohim face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Banu-Al, and he was limping because of his hip. To this day, the children of Yashar'Al do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the man touched Yaqab's hip socket at the tendon. Barashyth, Genesis chapter 33. Yaqab lifted his eyes and saw Ashu coming with 400 men. He divided the children among La'ah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. He placed the female servants and their children in front, La'ah and her children behind them, and Rachel and Yehusaf last. Yaqab himself went ahead and bowed to the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. Ashu ran to meet him, embraced him, fell on his neck, kissed him, and they both wept. Ashu looked up, saw the women and children, and asked, "Who are these with you?" Yaqab replied, "The children whom Elohim has graciously given your servant." Then the female servants came forward with their children and bowed down. La'ah and her children also came near and bowed down. Finally, Yehusaf and Rachel approached and bowed down. Ashu said, "What do you mean by all these droves I met?" Yaqab answered, "To find favor in the eyes of my master." But Ashu replied, I have plenty, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. Yaqab said, No, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, accept this gift from my hand. Seeing your face is like seeing the face of Elohim, now that you have accepted me. Please take the blessing that has been brought to you, because Elohim has dealt graciously with me, and I have everything I need. So Yaqab urged him, and Ashu accepted. Then Ashu said, Let us be on our way, and I will go ahead of you. But Yaqab said to him, My master knows that the children are frail, and the flocks and herds nursing their young are with me. If they are driven hard even for one day, the entire flock may die. Please, let my master go ahead of his servant. I will proceed slowly at the pace of the livestock and the children until I come to my master in Sha'ir. Ashu said, Let me leave some of my men with you. But Yaqab replied, Why do that? Let me find favor in the eyes of my master. So that day, Ashu started back on his way to Sha'ir. Yaqab, however, went to Sakuth, where he built a house for himself and shelters for his livestock. This is why the place is called Sakuth. After traveling from Padan Aram, Yaqab arrived safely at the city of Shakam, which is in the land of Canaan, and camped near the city. He bought the piece of land where he had pitched his tent from the sons of Hamor, Shakam's father, for 100 kashita. There he set up a slaughter place and called it Al Alahi Yashar'Al. Barashyth, Genesis chapter 34. Dynah, the daughter of La'ah, whom she had borne to Yaqab, went out to see the daughters of the land. Shakam, son of Hamor, the Hui, prince of the land, saw her, took her, and lay with her, humiliating her. His heart was deeply drawn to Dynah, the daughter of Yaqab. He loved the young woman and spoke kindly to her. Shakam said to his father, Hamor, Get me this girl as a wife. Yaqab heard that he had defiled Dynah, his daughter, but his sons were in the field with his livestock. So Yaqab held his shalom until they returned. Hamor, the father of Shakam, went out to Yaqab to speak with him. The sons of Yaqab came in from the field when they heard about it. The men were deeply grieved and very angry because Shakam had done a disgraceful thing in Yashar'Al by lying with Yaqab's daughter, a thing that should not be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, My son Shakam's heart longs for your daughter. Please, give her to him as a wife. Intermarry with us. Give us your daughters, and take our daughters for yourselves. You may live among us. The land is open to you. Live, trade in it, and acquire property in it. Shakam also said to her father and her brothers, Let me find favor in your eyes, and I will give you whatever you ask. Demand of me a high bride price and gift. I'll pay whatever you ask of me. Just give me the girl as my wife. Because Shakam had defiled their sister Dynah, the sons of Yaqab answered him and his father Hamor deceitfully. They said, We cannot do such a thing, to give our sister to a man who is uncircumcised. That would be a disgrace to us. We will consent to this on one condition, that you become like us by circumcising all your males. Then we will give you our daughters, take your daughters for ourselves, and live among you to become one people. But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, we will take our sister and go. Their words pleased Hamor and his son Shakam. The young man did not delay in doing the thing, because he delighted in Yaqab's daughter. Now, he was the most respected of all his father's household. So Hamor and his son Shakam went to the gate of their city and spoke to the men of their city. These men are at shalom with us. Let them live in our land and trade in it. The land has plenty of room for them. We can take their daughters as wives and give them our daughters, but the men will consent to live with us as one people, only on the condition that every male among us is circumcised, just as they are. Won't their livestock, their property, and all their animals become ours? Let's agree with them, and they will live among us. All the men who went out of the gate of the city listened to Hamor and his son Shakam, and every male in the city was circumcised. On the third day, when they were in pain, two of the sons of Yaqab, Sham'un and Luy, Dinah's brothers, took their swords, came against the city unopposed, and killed every male. They also killed Hamor and his son Shakam with the sword. They took Dynah from Shakam's house and went away. The sons of Yaqab came upon the dead and plundered the city because their sister had been defiled. They seized their flocks, herds, donkeys, and everything in the city and in the field. They carried off all their wealth, women and children, taking as plunder everything in the houses. Then Yaqab said to Sham'un and Luy, "You have brought trouble on me by making me obnoxious to the inhabitants of the land. The Kani and the Pharisee, I am few in number, and if they unite against me and kill me, I and my household will be destroyed." But they replied, "Should he treat our sister like a whore?" Thank you for joining me to gather today's portion. May we continue seeking Yahuah through his word and growing in the knowledge of him one day at a time until Yahusha gathers us. Shalom.